Start our history class. Take your history book, all of you. Come to page number 65. Come to page number 65. Today we are going to start a new unit. That is fifth unit, Evolution of Society in South India. Evolution of Society in South India. So the Tamil meaning of this is தென் இந்தியாவில் சமுதாய உருவாக்கம். Okay. So in the previous classes you have learned about the Mauryan Empire in India. So many Mauryan emperors, they ruled many parts of India, and who are they and how did they rule, everything you have learned. So from this unit you are going to India from the 3rd century BCE to the 5th century CE. Okay, so the South India, how it was ruled, and in BCE, 3rd century BCE to 5th century CE, how was the social and political formed. Okay, so everything you are going to learn from this unit. Okay, see the introduction. In the Deccan region, encompassing major parts of present day Telangana, Andhra, Karnataka and Maharashtra, the Satavahana established a powerful kingdom in the 1st century BCE. Okay, so in these all the areas, okay, Telangana, not only Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, these all the areas were ruled by Satavahanas. Okay, Satavahanas, and it was one of the powerful kingdom. Okay, and in the south, the three family ruling houses, the Cheras, the Cholas and the Pandyas, were the contemporaries ruling the fertile parts of Tamilagam. Okay, so these all the areas, Telangana, Andhra, Karnataka, Maharashtra, these all ruled by Satavahanas. At the same time, South India, that means south parts, okay, it was ruled by Cheras, Cholas and Pandyas. Okay, so ruling the fertile parts. Fertile means Chelipan. Okay, so but the Tamil rulers started 2 centuries earlier, as they figure in Ashoka's inscriptions of the 3rd century BC. There were many common things as well as differences in the polity and society of the Tamil regions. Okay, so Satavahanas and the South India, when it was ruled by Cheras, Cholas and Pandyas, they followed the same polity and society. Everything was common. Okay, some difference also were there in between them. Okay, so some of the sources are there about this Cheras, Cholas, Pandyas and about the Satavahanas. Okay, so first one is archaeological. Archaeological means தொல்பொருட்கள். Okay, sources means சான்றுகள். Okay, so how did we know? Okay, நம்ம இதை எப்படிலாம் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம், சில சான்றுகள் இருந்தால் தான் அது மூலமாக என்ன செய்வோம், அப்படிலாம் இருந்திருக்காங்க அப்படிங்கிறத அறிந்து கொள்ள முடியும். எஸ்ஆனோ. ஸோ the first source is archaeological. The megalithic burial sites of the early historic period. Okay, so the burial area, the megalithic burial sites was the main evidence. Okay, it was the main source for the to know about the South India political and social. Then excavated materials from ancient sites including ports, capital towns with architectural remains such as in Arikkamedu, Kodumanal, Alangulam and Urayur. So from these all the areas, some of the things excavated and some of the buildings, some of the ports, everything they were excavated. Okay, கண்டுபிடிச்சாங்க. Then Buddhist sites with stupas and chaityas located in Andhra and Karnataka regions, Amaravati and Nagarjunagonda. Okay, so these three are the main sources. Okay, what are the Buddhist sites with stupas and chaityas in Andhra and Karnataka, and many excavated things and many excavated areas were founded by the archaeologists in Arikkamedu, Kodumanal and Alangulam and Urayur. Okay, and some of the burial sites also have founded by the archaeologists. Okay, so these all are the archaeological sources. Okay, then numismatic. What is that? Numismatic. Coins. Okay, நாணய சான்றுகள். So coins of pre-Sadavanas chieftains and the Sadavanas from Andhra, Karnataka region. Okay, so the Andhra and the Karnataka அந்த ஏரியாவில் வந்து அந்த சதவனாஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணின அவங்க நாணயங்கள்லாம் என்ன செஞ்சுருக்காங்க, கண்டுபிடிச்சிருக்காங்க. So that is one of the important source. Okay, then the coins issued by the Cheras, Cholas, Pandyas and the chieftains of the Sangam age. Okay, so the Cheras, Cholas and Pandyas also, they used the different types of coins. It also founded. Okay, then Roman, copper, silver and gold coins. Okay, so these all the coins also founded by the archaeologists. So from that we come to know that in South India these people are ruled. Okay, Cheras, Cholas, Pandyas and Sadavaganas, or they were ruled. Okay, South India. Then epigraphic. Okay, epigraphic means kalvattugal. Okay, epic means what? Kalvat. So the Ashokan inscriptions, already in the previous unit you have seen that Ashoka, he made many epics. Is an kalvattugal. So he made many epics. So from that we come to know that there are everything was written. Now also it is there. So everything was written in the stones or rocks, everything. That is called the epigraphic. Okay, and some of the picture also have made on the rocks and on the stones. Okay, so and some of the inscriptions were written in Prakrit language. Okay, so it is there in Andhra and Karnataka regions. So the Tamil Brahmi inscriptions found in the caves of Tamil Nadu and Kerala, such as Mangulam, Jampai and Pugalur. Okay, so these all the areas, Tamil Brahmi inscriptions. Inscriptions means the எழுத்து முறைகள். Okay, so these all are there. So this is one of the important resource. Okay, then the Satavahana inscriptions and other Buddhist inscriptions of the Andhra region. So in Andhra area, some of the Satavahana inscriptions and some of the Buddhist inscriptions also are there in the Andhra region. From that we come to know that Buddhists, how did they live and what did they do, and Satavahanas, how did they rule, everything we can clearly understand. Okay, then short inscriptions found on pottery and rings and stones in Tamil Nadu and some sites outside India like in Berenik and Haizar al-Ghadim. It is in Egypt. Okay, parts, some of the rings and some of the stones. Okay, so in that some of the inscriptions were there. Okay, அதில் வந்து என்ன செஞ்சுருந்தாங்க, எழுதியிருந்தாங்க, பொறிச்சிருந்தாங்க, பொறிக்கப்பட்ட எழுத்துக்கள். Okay, so out of the India, Berenike, Khwazir, Algar, it's in Egypt. So these all are the inscriptions also there. So these all are the main evidence to know about the South India, how it was ruled and who ruled South India in the ancient time from BCE to the 3rd century BCE to the 5th century. Okay, then see there. Stupas. The stupa is a heap of clay that evolved out of earthen funerary mounds. Okay, funerary mounds, that means the stupa means அது ஒரு என்னது, இந்த களிமண்ணால் கட்டப்பட்டது. ஓகே, அந்த இறந்த உடல்களை அந்த புதைச்சி வச்சுருக்க அந்த புதை இடங்களுக்கு மேலே வந்து களிமண்ணை என்ன செய்வாங்க, கட்டியிருப்பாங்க. அந்த இறந்தோரை வந்து என்ன செய்வாங்க, அந்த அவங்கள எரித்து அந்த டெட் பாடியில் உள்ள அந்த சாம்பலை வந்து அதை வைப்பாங்க. ஓகே, in which the ashes of the dead were buried. Buddhist stupas evolved out of the burial of the ashes of the mortal remains of the Buddha. அஸ்தி, அந்த அவருடைய டெட் பாடி எரித்து அந்த அஸ்தி வந்து ஒரு 8 ஸ்தூபாஸில் என்ன செஞ்சுருந்தாங்க, வச்சுருந்தாங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ Buddhist sacred architecture originated with 8 stupas where the ashes were divided hemispherical shape. That means அரைக்கோள வடிவம். ஓகே, ஸோ அது அரைக்கோள வடிவத்தில் என்ன செஞ்சுருந்தாங்க, ஸ்தூபா சுற்றி வந்து கட்டியிருந்தாங்க. ஓகே, புத்தாஸ் represent the emperor to the spiritual universe. The stupa has a path around it for devotional circumambulation. ஓகே, ஸோ அந்த அந்த ஸ்தூபாவை சுற்றி என்ன செஞ்சுருந்தாங்க, ஒரு சுற்று வட்ட பாதையில் வந்து அந்த நம்ம பக்தர்கள்லாம் சுற்றி வரும்படியாக ஒரு வழி அமைச்சிருந்தாங்க. ஓகே, it was called the circumambulation. Then literary sources. Okay, literary means the Tamil meaning of literary is இலக்கியம். Okay, இலக்கிய சான்றுகள். Tamil text including the Sangam and post Sangam literature. The Arthasastra, the treatise on economy and statecraft authored by Kaudilya. So the Arthasastra, it was written by Kaudilya. Okay, so that is one of the source, okay, to know about the South India society. Okay, then the Puranas, which mention the genealogy of the Andhras and Satavakanas. Okay, so அந்த வம்சாவளி மூலமாகவும் என்ன செய்கிறோம், அது குறிப்பிட்ட புராணங்கள் மூலமாகவும் நம்ம வந்து அந்த சவுத் இந்தியாவோட சொசைட்டி எப்படி இருந்து அப்படிங்கிறத தெரிஞ்சுக்கொள்ளலாம். புத்திஸ்ட் chronicles such as Mahavamsa. So it is one of the historical text. Okay, so Buddhist chronicles also, it is one of the Mahavamsa also, it is one of the evidence. Okay, then Gada Saptasadi. Gaha Saptasadi, it was written in the Prakrit. Okay, it was one of the Prakrit text composed by the Sadavahana king Hala. Okay, so these all are the sources. What are the sources? You see that Tamil text, all the Tamil text including the Sankara, it was written by Kaudilya, and Puranas, okay, it was about the genealogy of the Andhras and Satavaganas. Buddhist chronicles such as Mahavamsa and Gada Sabdasadi, a Prakrit text composed by the Sadavahana king Hala. So these all are the literary evidences, okay, literary sources to know about the society in South India from 3rd century BCE to 5th century CE. Then classical Tamil literature. The classical Sangam corpus consists of Tolkappiyam, the 8 anthologies, that means Ettu Thogai. Already you have, I think you have studied in Tamil Ettu Thogai, is that no? Then 10 idyls, that means 10 பாட்டு. Okay, Tolkappiyam is the earliest extant Tamil grammatical text dealing not only with poetry but also the society and the important poems were written, and some of the texts also were written in the Tamil literature time. Okay, these all are the classical Tamil literature. So the Tolkappiyam, 8 anthologies which is called the, and 10 idyls which is called the Pattu Paattu. So these all are the important Tamil grammatical text. Okay, and the 11 Keelkanakku, that means 18 minor work, and the 5 epics, and 5 epics means ஐம்பெருங்காப்பியங்கள். So belong to post Sangam times 4th to 6th century CE and describe a different social and cultural setup. Okay, so very important text are given, is that no? So in literature there were many poems and many texts were written. Okay, so some of the important things are given here. You see that Tolkappiyam, 8 anthologies and 10 idyls and 11 Keelkanakku, 5 epics. Okay, so you see there down it was given எட்டு தொகை and 10 பாட்டு collections have about 2400 poems. So all together in எட்டு தொகை and 10 பாட்டு there are 2400 poems. These poems varying in length from 3 to 800 lines. Okay, were written as only 3 lines are there in some poems. Okay, in some poems 800 lines are there. Okay, it was composed by Bonner and Pulavar. Okay, many Bonner and Pulavar written these all poems. Okay, so 8 anthologies, which is called the Ettu Togai, are given. You see there: Natrinai, Kurundogai, Ainguru Nuru, Paditru Pattu, Paribaadal, Kalittogai, Agananuru, Purananuru. So these 8 are the 8 anthologies. Okay, can you read with me one more time? Natrinai, Kurundogai, Ainguru Nuru, Paditru, Paribaadal, Kalittogai, Agananuru and Purananuru. Paditru Pattu, that means 10 ideals. Okay, Paditru Pattu. Sorry, it was Pattu Pattu. Pattu Pattu, that means 10 ideals. In that, Tirumurugatrupadai, Porunaratruppadai, Truppadai, Perumbanatruppadai, Mullai Pattu, Madurai Kanji, Nedunal Vadai, Kurunji Pattu, Pattina Palai, Malai Padu Kadam. So these 10 are the 10 ideals. Okay, shall we read one more time? Porunaratruppadai, Sirupanatruppadai, Perumbanatruppadai, Mullai Pattu, Madurai Kanji, Nedunal Vadai, Kurunji Pattu, Pattinam Palai and Malai Padu Kadam. Okay, then Padinen Keelkanakku, that means 18 is an 18 minor works. Texts which are post Sangamos include 18 texts which mostly deal with the ethics and Tirukkural and Naladiyar. Okay, so 1330 are there in the Tirukkural, is or no? So Naladiyar. So these two are the important in Padinen Keelkanakku. Okay, these two are the important text. And Silappadigaram, Manimegalai, Valayabadi, Gundalagesi, these all are 5 epics. Okay, already I have told 5 epics are there, is or no? So Silappadigaram, Manimegalai, these two are the important epics useful for insights into cultural and religious history. Got it, all of you? And foreign notices. So some of the foreigners, they came to India and they have written some of the text about the Indian history and Indian culture and society. Okay, so some of the sources are that they are called the foreign notices. The following Greek and Latin sources inform us about the long distance cultural and commercial connections. The Periplus of Erythraean Sea, an ancient Greek text of the 1st century CE. So this is one of the source. Okay, Periplus of Erythraean Sea. Okay, it was one of the ancient Greek text. Okay, then Pliny the Eldest Natural History, 1st century CE. Pliny the Eldest Natural History. Okay, இயற்கை வரலாறு, Pliny the Eldest. And Ptolemy's Geography, 2nd century CE. Okay, and the Ptolemy our எழுதின Geography. Okay, so that is the third one. And a Roman map called Beutengerian. Okay, Beutengerian table. So this also, that was one of the map. Okay, a Roman map. It was called Beutengerian table. So it was made by the Romans. Okay, so these 4 are the important foreign notices. Okay, what are they? The Periplus of Erythraean Sea, it was an ancient Greek text, and Pliny the eldest natural history. Pliny is the elder was the natural history, and Ptolemy is geography, and a Roman map called Peutingerian table. Got it, all of you? Then come to the box. Women poets. Okay, women poets of the Sangam age. Okay, so many women poems also they wrote many of the poems. Okay, so it is there in the book, page number 66. Of the over 450 poets who contributed to the corpus of Sangam poetry, about 30 are women. So in Sangam age, there were 450 poets. From that, 30 poets are women poets. Okay, and they composed more than 150 poems. So the most prominent and prolific among them was Avvaiyar. Everybody knows about Avvaiyar, yes or no? So there were 450 poets, okay, in Sangam age. From that, 30 are women, okay, and others include Allur Nanmulayar, Kakai Padiniyar, Kavar Pendu, Nalveliyar, Okkur Masatiyar, and Pari Magalir. Okay, so these all the important, okay, these all are the prominent poets. Okay, who are they? The first prominent poet is Avvaiyar. Okay, and after the Avvaiyar, some of the important prominent poets also were there. Allur Nanmulayar, Kakai Padiniyar, Kavar Pendu, Nalveliyar, Okkur Masatiyar, and Pari Magalir. Okay, so these all the women poets, they lived in the Sangam age time, and they made many poems. Okay, more than 50 poems were composed by the women poets. Got it, all of you? So they are the important sources to know about the Sangam age. Got it? Then South India during Mauryan times. Okay, so in the previous unit you have learned the Mauryan Empire, yes or no? So in South India, how it was in the Mauryan times. The Ashokan edicts means Kalvettugal, present for the first time a picture of the political condition in the South India. Rock Edict 2 lists the Tamil ruling houses Cholas, Pandyas, Keralaputras and Satyaputra as neighbor rulers lying beyond his domain, where he is said to have made provisions for two types of medical treatment for both humans and animals. So in Ashoka's edicts, there was some information about to know the political and social conditions of South India, about and also some of the information about is there to know about the Cholas, Pandyas, Keralaputras, Satyaputras, okay, about, and he want to treat the animals and humans, okay, and he gave many medical treatment to the humans and also the animals. So the Mauryan Empire at that time included northern parts of Karnataka and Andhra, while the Tamil kingdoms were treated as independent neighbors. So the Mauryan, they empired the Karnataka and the Andhra also. Okay. Then after the decline of Mauryan power and before the rise of Satavahanas, many small principalities emerged. Okay. So after the Ashoka and after Ashoka died, more than 50 years only, the Mauryan Empire they ruled. Okay. After that, the Satavahanas they ruled South India. Okay, they ruled India, which was ruled by the Ashokas. And although not much information is available about their rulers, okay, so some of the information only available to know about the rulers, no more much information is not available to know about them, okay, and their coins and inscriptions reveal that they were chiefs who controlled small territories. Okay, so after the Mauryan Empire, Satavahanas they ruled, and they ruled only some of the minor areas. That means small territory is only ruled by the Satavahanas. Okay, so from the coins we can understand that. Okay, and but more information we did not get, and although not much information is not available to know about the Satavahanas rules. South India under the Satavahanas. Satavahanas emerged in the 1st century BCE in the Deccan region. They ruled over parts of Andhra, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh. From recent archaeological evidence, it is understood that the Satavahanas started to rule in the Telangana area and then moved to Maharashtra to rule in the Godavari basin with Krathisdian Python in Maharashtra as their capital. Okay, so First, the Satavahanas, they ruled Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Madhya Pradesh. Okay, and then they moved Telangana. Okay, so they started to Telangana area, then they have moved to Maharashtra. Later they moved eastwards to control coastal Andhra also. After that, controlled the coastal area of Andhra. The work Pliny talks about 30 walled towns, a large army, cavalry and elephant force in the Andhra country. Okay, so already we have seen the Pliny, that is one of the foreign notices. Yes or no? So from that, that is one of the text about the Satavahanas. Okay, so it talks about 30 walled towns. 30 walled towns. Okay, so the கோட்டைகளோடு கூடிய 30 நகரங்கள் இருந்துச்சு. A large army, ஓகே, ஒரு பெரும் படை இருந்துச்சு. cavalry மீன்ஸ் குதிரைப்படை, elephant force, இது எல்லாம் இருந்ததுக்கான எவிடன்ஸ் எல்லாமே அதில் என்ன செஞ்சுருக்காங்க, டெக்ஸ்டில் ரிட்டர்ன் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஓகே, Gautamiputra Satarkani was the greatest of the Satavahanas king. Okay, so from Satavahana kings, Gautamiputra Satakani, he was the greatest king. Okay, and he defeated the Shaka ruler Nahabana and reissued the coins of Nahabana with his own royal insignia. Okay, so the Satavahana வந்து அந்த நாகபனாவை வந்து என்ன செஞ்சார், அதை அவர் டிஃபீட் பண்ணிவிட்டு அவருடைய காயின்ஸில் வந்து அந்த சதாவாகனா வந்து அவருடைய இன்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷன், அவருடைய முத்திரையோடு திரும்பவும் என்ன செஞ்சார், வெளியிட்டார். ஸோ the inscriptions of his mother Gautami Balashri at Nashik mention him as the conqueror of the Shakas, Pallavas and Yavanas. He is also said to have performed the prestigious Vedic Ashwamedha sacrifice. ஸோ அவருடைய தாயார் எழுதின நிறைய இன்ஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ஸ் ஷாகாஸ், பல்லவாஸ், யாவனாஸ்லையும் இவருடைய பெருமை பற்றி நிறைய எழுதியிருக்காங்க. அண்ட் அவர் பண்ணின ஒரு பெரிய அஸ்வமேதா அப்படிங்கிற யாகத்தையும் இவர் வந்து நடத்தியிருக்காரு அப்படின்ட்டு கூறப்படுகிறது. தென் Vashishtaputra Pulumayi, the successor of Gautamiputra Satakarni, expanded the frontiers of the Satavahana empires. Okay, Gautamiputra Satakarni, who ruled Vashishtaputra Pulumayi. Okay, and the coins by him are found scattered in many parts of South India. So in that time the coins, the Vashishtaputra Pulumayi, this coin was scattered. எல்லா பக்கம் என்ன செஞ்சிருந்தது, பரவிது. So Yagnashri Satakarni was another famous ruler who issued coins with a ship motif, indicating the importance of the overseas trade during his regime. So when the new emperor comes, they introduce the new types of coins. Okay, so from that, and the symbol will be there. From that we can easily find that who ruled in that time. Yes, and everything will be there. If you take one coin, and now our coins, some of the national leaders pictures are there in rupees note also, is that no? So you, in that time, in the ancient time, in the Sangam age period, they used the coins and they printed their pictures and some of the inscriptions also written on the coins. Okay, from that, so we can clearly understand about the kings and how it was ruled. Okay, who ruled in that time, everything we can understand. Okay, so King Hala is credited with the writing of Gaga Saptasadi, a collection of 700 love poems. Okay, so King Hala was written 700 love poems. It was written Gaga Saptasadi. So, and it written in Maharashtri Prakrit dialect. It has themes similar to those found in the Tamil Sangam poetry. So, Tamil Sangam poetry la என்னென்ன themes-லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணாங்களோ அதே போல் இதில் என்ன செஞ்சுருந்தாங்க, ஃபாலோ பண்ணியிருந்தாங்க. So the after the Satavahana Empire, when the Satavahana Empire declined around the 3rd century CE and was replaced by the Ishwakas, followed by Pallavas in Andhra and the Kadambas in northern Karnataka. Okay, so after the Satavahana Empire, what are the areas were ruled by the Satavahana Empire? After the Satavahanas, Ishwakas, Pallavas and Kadambas, these all the empires came and they ruled in those areas. Okay, so those all the areas were controlled by this them. After the Sadavahana, these all the empires. Okay, like Ikshavakas. Okay, Ikshavakas and Pallavas. Pallavas ruled Andhra Pradesh and Kadambas ruled northern Karnataka. Okay, so today then you are going to know about the importance of Sadavahana. Offering land grants was an important development of the Sadavahana's time. நிலமானியம் வந்து வழங்கினாங்க. So the beneficiaries of these grants were mostly Buddhist and Brahmins. Okay, so அது நிறைய புத்திஸ்டுக்கும் நிறைய பிராமின்ஸ்க்கு தான் என்ன செஞ்சாங்க, வழங்கினாங்க. Then the name god inscription refers the tax exemptions given to the lands granted to the Buddhist monks. Okay, புத்த துறவிகளுக்கு வந்து என்ன செஞ்சாங்க, அவங்களுக்கு வந்து அந்த நிலங்களுக்கு வரி விலக்கு வரி வந்து செலுத்த வேண்டாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருந்தாங்க. Thus we notice the beginning of priestly groups at higher status. These land denotions created a group of people who did not cultivate but own land. ஓகே, ஸோ அவங்க நிலங்களை வந்து கொடையாக ஃப்ரீயாக கொடுத்ததுனால வேளாண்மை செய்யாமல் என்ன செஞ்சாங்க, அந்த நிலங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஓனரை மட்டுமே இருந்தாங்க. ஓகே, so this led to the development of land-based social hierarchy and divisions in the society. Okay, so அது நிறைய நிலம் வச்சுருக்கவங்கள வந்து ஒவ்வொரு குறிப்பிட்டகளில் வைப்பதற்கு இது வந்து என்னது ஒரு அடிப்படையாக இருந்துச்சு. For the first time, a big state covering a major part of the Deccan was established. Okay, so இந்த டிகான் பிளாட்டியூவில் வந்து ஒரு பெரிய அரசு வந்து என்ன செஞ்சிச்சு, ஃபஸ்ட்டு நிறுவப்பட்டது Sadavahanas, by the Sadavahanas. Okay, then several rock cut caves dedicated to the Buddha Sangha bear evidence that they were situated in the trade routes linking the interior to the coastal parts of Konkan region. So there were some of the rock cut caves. Okay, இந்த குடைவரை குகைகள், இந்த ராக்கை வந்து கட் பண்ணி அதில் குகைகள் மாதிரி செஞ்சுருப்பாங்கல்ல. Okay, so that is one of the biggest evidence to know about the Sanghaj and the Sadavahanas. Okay, then it was also a period of brisk Roman trade. ஸோ இந்தியாவுக்கும் நம்ம ரோம் நாட்டிற்கும் இடையில வந்து எப்படி ட்ரேட் வந்து பண்ணாங்க அப்படிங்கிறத பற்றி அறிந்து கொள்வதற்கும் இது ஒரு எவிடன்ஸாக இருக்குது. ஓகே, then see the picture. This is the picture of Nanikat inscription. Nanikat inscription, கல்வெட்டு. inscription means what? கல்வெட்டு. அந்த கல்லில் வந்து என்ன செஞ்சுருப்பாங்க, ஒரு இரும்பை வச்சு உளியை வச்சு அப்படியே வெட்டி என்ன செஞ்சுருப்பாங்க, ஒரு லெட்டர்ஸ் எழுதியிருப்பாங்க. Now we use pen, pencil, everything, is that? So in the ancient time they used the stones and they made some of the inscriptions. Got it? Okay, so till that you have learned today. So remain then tomorrow we will see the Sangam. So this is your today's class. Okay, so today's class has completed and write your classwork and homework. Okay, and today your homework is book page number 66 box. There are given the 8 anthologies and 10 ideals. Yes or no? So those 8 anthologies and 10 ideals you are going to write 2 times. Okay, 8 anthologies 2 times and 10 part which is called 10 ideals you are going to write 2 times. Okay, this is your homework today. Study and write, don't copy and write. Okay, when you come for correction I'll ask this all. So study and write. Got it? Okay, so we will see tomorrow.